What's up, everybody? Welcome to That Local Music Show. We have an awesome show for you guys today. Joining us on stage, first we have our awesome jack of all trades, DJ, writer, producer, Charlie Anderson. We also have the producing awesome dynamic duo, the Lab Rats. And to quench your musical palate, we have Greg Gutty. And our topic for tonight is going to be that collaborative effort, me, you, and a beat. Let's make it cool.
That Local Music Show. Joining us in just a few seconds, we have our guest host for tonight, the Lab Rats. Please give them a warm welcome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on? Okay. Next year, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves for those who don't know who you guys are, what you guys do.
Cut.
Your mic, yeah.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let's do the Lab Rats intro one more time.
Sorry, we gotta get you off stage. I know you're comfortable. Sorry. Now it works. It's still on.
All right, Mark, cameras rolling. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to That Local Music Show. Joining us in just a few seconds, we have our guest host for tonight, the Lab Rats. Please give them a warm welcome.
This way, you gonna have to table.
What's up? What's up?
Right, all right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, for those who don't know who you guys are or what you guys do, please tell the crowd.
Well, all right. I'm first of all, I'm Nate. This is Shells. Yes, Shells. And we are 2/4 of the Lab Rats. There's other 2 of the guys, Dre and Rock, couldn't make it tonight. Working, of course. All right, we produce and we do hooks, and we work with several local artists: Shane Dollar, SK, Shakespeare's Ghost, Prano. We have several projects out right now. We just dropped a beat tape, 40 beat tape.
Good job, Baptist Slap. We got Piff SoundCloud.
Little plug.
How do you guys come up with the name Lab Rats?
Well, it was like we were sitting in the room.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we need a name. Going through different weird names. We were just like throwing them out.
I think it was Rock. Wasn't it Rock who came up with Lab Rats?
It's like, yo, let's do the Lab Rats. Yeah. Well, let's Google that, man. That's kind of dope, but I don't know. There might be a lot of Lab Rats out there, you know. Did a Google from my phone, seen a couple science project people, you know, a couple of breakdance groups, no producers, no really like hip hop groups. So we decided to run with it, you know, real hard, and that's we haven't changed since. You know, it's Lab Rats. Yeah.
Hence you added a Z at the end, right?
Yeah.
That's a little different.
So you guys say you guys do hooks. Do you sing, rap, and produce?
I think it comes all in with producing. You have to, you know, when you're making the record, you got to be able to hear the rap or the singing with the hook. And yes, we do both. I mean, I think we all know people that say, hey, yo, I used to rap, you know, or I rapped, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's how we met. I wanted to be a rapper until I moved to Virginia, and it was like, oh damn, they rap out here for real.
Yeah, but we pretty much do all aspects, you know, producing. I pretty much can sing, but I'll consider myself more just a reference. It's like me.
Yeah,
I know how to sing. Reference for everybody else. You know, we write whatever. You know, pretty eclectic crew that we have, honestly.
We do what we got to do to do the record.
Amazing.
So how long have you guys been a crew, eclectically?
2002, we met at MCI. Is that right?
I was probably like
2003.
19. I was 19, so I don't want to say my age.
Yeah,
that was. That was about 10 years ago. I'll say that. That was about 10 years ago. We actually became friends, and it came that we both had a thirst, a love for music so much that we just rocked together. Because I was rapping at first, he was doing just making beats, kind of rapping.
Trying to rap.
Rock, our boy Rock, he produced. He just always produced. He always knew how to make just the dopest beats, and he also was real eclectic in a lot of the instruments. So he got the drums, he could do the guitar. Man, the man's a genius, you know. So it's like we all got together as a crew around the exact same time, around 10 years ago, and we really officially, what we say, we
2010
broke the rock.
We went hard.
Yeah, that's when it officially started.
Let's do it.
You know, when it actually was Lab Rats.
2010. So going strong 3 years, 4 years.
Basically with that.
Well, you guys seem pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure the other two that couldn't show up are cool too. But as a group, 4 people producing and doing all the same thing and working with artists, how often do you disagree?
All the time. We disagree
More
right
than
now.
less.
He disagrees with my
More than
outfit right now.
I swear, every time we play each other a beat, we're so critique each other so highly because we're so different. That's what makes our beat so crazy, because we're putting like 3, 4 different minds together and making something that isn't really even heard of, you know. But we disagree all the time, and then finally comes out a freaking masterpiece where I'll be like, nah, that's whack. But then 2 months later, that jump's the main hit right now for the local circulation. It's crazy.
So as far as the local circuit and stuff, what is your guys' opinion on the local music scene?
Ooh.
I know I see a post on Facebook.
Ooh. I think it's getting better. Let's just say, I talk a lot about the local music because I think people don't take their time when they're doing things when they can. You know, I think that when as a rapper, when you come into the studio, it's not about coming in, hey, I'm in the studio, I'm telling my girlfriend I'm taking a big selfie in the studio in the booth. You know, we're not doing any work. That's not cool. You know what I mean? You get people like that. You get people that come in and don't realize that money plays a big part of it. You know, you're not going to come in and do a radio hit record for $25. That's what people expect to come in and think, oh, I can do it in an hour.
So do you guys only work with people who are willing to pay you for your creative effort?
No. We do collaborative work. You know, we do have artists that say, hey, I have a vision, I have a project, and I want to enlist lab reps. You know what I mean? Of course, we have our initial fee or whatever, but that never gets in the way of doing work. Now, recording wise, you got to pay the engineer. You got to pay for the equipment. That always has to be paid for, no matter what the mixing. And that's really what I'm talking about: is getting in, paying for it, knowing that you got to do a record, get it mixed, move on. It's too easy if you do it that way.
So I can imagine all the projects lining up. Tell us about the projects you have going on right now.
Right now, we have a all-break project with Soprano. Soprano knows how to Fort Smith.
Killer.
Man, straight bars, all breaks. We didn't add any
Hip hop to the
all hip hop.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so crazy.
We have a project with Shakespeare's Ghost, but he's a different type of guy. He's our outside the box alternative hip hop. Like we take rock, we fuse it with hip hop, and we rock out, and it's pretty fun. So we have fun. And then we have, of course, SK, Mr. M.R. Carr, top of good discussion. And man, those beats, man, oh man, they're dope. You know, he's the commercial guy. You know what I mean? He has to accept it, but that's what it is. He has to accept the fact that it's the commercial beats, the big beats. That's what it is. And if it's not in our car caliber, then we can't put it up. So that's what we're pushing right now.
Are there any local artists that you aspire to work with?
Yeah, like Timberland, Pharrell. I mean, if you want to be real, shoot. Not, come on. But yeah, I know, I mean, you mean as far as the local area, as far as, yeah, right. What you think, man?
Oh, man.
I mean, we worked with so many people already.
Not me yet.
Yeah,
Me too, right?
You know what? Just to step outside. Oh man, that's a good one, really. You know what? To be honest with you, it's more of like working with other producers. You know, and I think being able to get in with maybe like Kevin Lasser, the Beat Dungeon, or maybe Protex. You know what I mean? Like clashing those sounds. You know what I mean? That's what
we on that.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you really don't want to work with guys who like teeter on the same thing as what you're doing. You know, you're kind of like,
Get that better.
yeah, you know, you want to fuse things, you want to learn things. You know what I mean? Learning, definitely. I would say locally would probably be producers more than rappers.
How about more mainstream, big artists? Who do you want to work with? Who do you aspire to work with?
Hey, if I can get in a room with Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Smart answer.
I'm just being for real. I mean, she's weird, and I'm weird too, and I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Weird is good. Weird is
If you're
good.
listening, come to the Hampton Roads.
Hey, I would, you know,
Yeah, that's
definitely.
love.
Hey, I would definitely like to get in with, that's cold-blooded. If I could get in with DJ Quick and sit in with him, you know what I mean, maybe just for a couple hours, and I think maybe that would be cool.
I just love to meet Timberland. That's my dude right there.
He's actually going to get
inspired
next
me.
week. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Hey!
That was good. It's good. There you go, guys. Get comfortable on the couch. The libraries will be hanging out with us for the rest of the show. And we'll be back.
Up next is our special guest performer. You can hear him right now on Hot 91. Greg Gutty. Here you go. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, your song right now is Child Support on Hot 91. Please tell us about the moment that you heard it for the first time on radio.
It was an unexplainable feeling, to be honest.
Cut.
You can't jump into that song you're earning. You should have taken it from the beginning. Sorry.
Here, unplug that mic.
So you gotta talk about your first group. You gotta talk about the second group you was in. And your cousin getting locked up and you going solo. Talk about all of that. Then we can talk
So we're
about
gonna reintroduce you. Come off
I was
stage.
about to actually ask you, but
You sent me the bio, man.
It was like
It was like, what, you were 6 years old, you had your three other cousins, singing acapella,
Greg.
going up in church, singing acapella.
Come off stage. We're gonna
We
reintroduce
can all ask
you.
questions, just don't jump into child support just yet. Wait.
All right. Coming back. Camera 2, Mark.
Yeah, I can.
Camera's rolling.
Give me a second. Camera 3 rolling. Camera's rolling.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show. You can hear our next performer. My bad, Steve.
Cut. Coming back in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show. Up next is our special guest performer, Greg Gutty.
got it. All right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so like we always ask all of our guests, for those who might not know of you for whatever reason, let everybody give a little background information of who you are, what you do, and all that goodness.
Okay, I'm from Hampton Roads, Virginia. Born in Portsmouth, raised in this area. You know what I mean? Pretty much, I'm a singer, soul writer, soul singer, songwriter, guitarist as well, and just make good music for the people.
Okay, so starting off with good music. So you were raised in the church, and you started off in a group with you and your two older cousins when you were 6 years old?
Actually, it was 3.
3 years old. Okay, correct me. Hey, it happened. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, just me and my 3 older cousins, we had an a cappella quartet group, and we used to go around, you know, the East Coast, just pretty much singing a cappella spirituals, you know what I mean? And it was a great experience. We did that about 9 years. I think when our last peak was at the Apollo in 2001 or 2000.
So you touched that oak before you went on?
Yeah, we rubbed the log.
The Sandman didn't come out, did he?
Nah. Actually, no. I'm trying to think the name of the house Sandman at the time. Yeah, I think they stopped up for me. But yeah.
Now, was that something that you guys wanted to pursue yourself, or was that something that the family kind of geared you guys to pursue music?
Sorry. My aunt, which is my cousin's mother, she was kind of managing us, so she just felt it would be a good opportunity to, expose our talent to some people. And we got a couple, connects there, but for whatever reason, things kind of disbanded.
So tell us about what's going on right now with your music and career.
Right now, I'm just working on a solo project. I'm just working on trying to finish it, mastering it, and hopefully releasing it late spring sometime, maybe late May or something.
So I ain't gonna ask the obvious question as far as your musical inspiration with the dread. So I think you got the whole Bob Marley thing going on. But as far as you being an artist, like what is your influences? Like if you could say, like if you could categorize yourself in a genre, like what would that be?
Well, my experience or my influences, I should say, comes from my father. You know what I'm saying? I want to just express that because that was like my first really exposure to music. From birth, hearing him singing around the house, and even my grandfather, going to church every weekend, hearing him sing, and my whole family could sing and harmonize. No music, So other than them, it was more like soul artists that really inspired me as well, like 70s, just man, everybody, Marvin Gaye, people I didn't even know who it was, I just liked the songs, you know what I mean? So from there, I got into hip hop, like during the 90s, and Bad Boy, Tupac, all the good legends and stuff like that. And most recently, I got into reggae. As you say, Bob Marley. But you know what I mean? It was for reasons, because he spoke, he spoke real, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can relate to this.
So for Ready for the World, tell us a little bit about that.
That's the name of the album, hopefully to release the end of spring, like I said. It's pretty much just my life story in a nutshell to this point, and I felt like there's a certain time in everybody's life where they have to be ready for the world, you know what I mean? Some start older, some start younger, you know what I mean? And I just felt like right now I'm ready to face on whatever the world has to offer, or, you know what I mean? Whatever, is going on, I feel like I'm ready for whatever. I mean, maybe late, but hey, I feel like, mentally, spiritually, everything. Because when I was younger, if I was given certain opportunities, I'm sure I would have, maybe messed over it or anything like that. But now that I had enough chance to mature and grow, I can kind of handle situations a lot better and make better decisions. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for the world. That's pretty much what it's all about.
And speaking of touring, for those who don't know, you've performed in New York, you performed in Atlanta. Tell us about those shows out there.
The first year, 2012, the first year I released my single, Child Support, I got an opportunity to go to BB King's in New York, and it was awesome, man. It was nice. To actually be in the club after a blues legend, first of all, and it was just good to be up there and expose my talent. And I also performed in Atlanta. That was a great opportunity as well. There was a little competition going on out there at Apache Cafe back in October 2013, so that went pretty well. I won first place, and it was a good opportunity.
Well, aside from music news and your history, we want to know a little bit more about your philosophy, who you are. You're a spiritual soul singer. Do you believe that music can move the world or solve all the problems that we live in?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I believe it's actually ruling the world right now, to be honest, because everything people do is revolved around music. You know what I'm saying? When you get in the car, on your way to work, you put on something that puts you in the mood to do what you're doing, you know what I mean? So I believe it's doing that now, and we need more positive music so we can have a positive society and a positive world, you know what I mean? But, that's just me.
Personal question. Do you have children?
Yes, of course. That's what the song Child Support is about, so yeah.
I just wanted to know what you sing about, what your life life experience as
Yes,
well.
definitely. That's definitely a true story. That song is definitely, from beginning to end, is a word-for-word true story. And just happy that people can relate to it and, you know, help them get through whatever situation they're going through, you know what I mean?
Now, unless you're living under a rock, we've all heard on Hot 91, your song Child Support playing.
Some was other.
I heard it. Tell us about the moment that you heard it on the radio for the first time.
Like I say, man, the first time it was just amazing. Like, it was just an unexplainable feeling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, you know, your hard work kind of paid off to a certain extent, you know. I didn't imagine. I mean, it's just, I say it's God, you know what I mean? It's just God, man. It's an unexplainable feeling. I couldn't put it in words, so please don't make me.
Now, I don't want to offend you by saying this, but has anyone ever told you that you kind of sound like Lil Wayne when you talk?
Oh man, I heard that a lot. Yeah, quite often, but it's cool, you know?
Okay, now tell us about your future endeavors, who you want to work with in the future, if you have any upcoming projects that you're releasing, tell us about that.
Yeah, I would like to work with a lot of people, like Wyclef, John, and stuff like that, and you know, just different people who, you know, got just the same ideas as far as music as I do. I just want to work with people that's about the same intention. You know, a lot of people don't make music with the same intention, so I can't really name a whole list of people, but from least to greatest, I would do music with anybody, man.
Do you feel like the money that they made by being entertainers kind of changed them? Do you ever feel like that will happen to you? Do you ever break?
Not at all. I was born poor, you know. I was born without money, so having money to me would definitely not change me at all. If I have money today or tomorrow, it would honestly go to someone who don't have money. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I live for, you know, to try to help other people, because that's just what it's all about, man. I mean, I can't sit here and, you know, and just act like I'm bigger than the next person, so I just always just want to look at the next man as an equal person. We all equal, you know what I mean? So I just try to keep that in mind. So if I have money today or tomorrow, it will go to whatever that was, you know, needed, you know, useful, like colleges or books, whatever. Whatever's needed, you know what I mean? And if you needed something, talk
to me after the show.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah.
Joining us on stage, national act Charlie Anderson.
Introduce that again. Cut it.
Right. We're gonna do that one more time.
Yeah. All right. Look, it's the most common name ever, and you messed it up.
Hey, crowd response, man. All right, camera 2. Mark.
Rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show, everyone. Joining us on stage is...
Cut. Coming in at 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to That Local Music...
Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show. Joining us on stage is Charlie Anderson, national act.
Cut. One more time. One more time.
Okay, name last. Introduction first, name last. Okay.
Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show. Joining us on stage, national act Charlie Anderson.
Right, buddy.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Long line.
So I need to pick up the mic?
Yeah. Yes.
I got you. All right.
That's your mic.
So welcome to the show.
Hot right.
Oh, okay. All right, great. I know Bob was going first, but okay, cool. So, for those people that don't know you, for whatever reason, they might not, just give everybody a little tidbit about yourself. We know you drum, produce, write, travel the world, and all kinds of other awesomeness.
I mean, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I was a drummer at the start. I started at 8, toured all over the country with local bands, and then decided that that's not really where I wanted to go, and went down to Miami, hooked up with Cash Money Records, got picked up by them as a professional drummer, met up with Kevin Rudolph, we traveled the world, and after that I was like, how do I really stay relevant in music, you know? Like, drumming can only like really take you so far, and so I just started writing, taught myself to play guitar, piano, everything, and now I'm like a full-blown producer. I work with tons of artists and put out my own bootlegs and originals and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it now.
So what made you want to do that transition from drumming? Was it?
It's weird, and I don't want to sound weird when I say it, but I felt like I hit a pinnacle. Like, where do you really go from MTV New Year's? Like, where do you really go from Dancing with the Stars or the NBA All-Star Jam or the Miss USA pageant and stuff like that? Like, how do you really take it farther unless you like get picked up by Jay-Z? And when you do that, you're still like in Jay-Z's life, you know? And like, I'm trying to make a presence for myself. I want to be able to do it for myself, you know? Like, even though I did do all those great things and they were amazing, I'd never trade it for the world, but they weren't mine. I want mine. So that's when I decided I was like, I need to learn everything. I need to learn how to produce, like compose, write, and all those crazy things that you need to know to be able to keep going, you know? So, and when I'm 50, I'd like to be able to do like other styles of music, because you can't like stay relevant with the kids when you're 50, you know? So, you know.
Speaking of staying relevant with the kids, you did a track with the Jollies, the Empty Halls. You produced that, or you made the beat for it? How did that whole?
Oh yeah, I produced that whole record.
Okay.
Yeah, like that was actually a record that I had sitting in the vault. I made that record years ago, and I always thought that whoever did take it, I want it to be like a real story. I don't like just putting out, like, I love party music, and I definitely make party music and stuff like that, but I also make serious music. I want like music that has a story, tells something, like makes people feel something, you know, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's like what you feel here, you know. And so Matt Jolly came to me, he was like, yo, I was going through Iggy's tracks, and I found yours, and he was like, I love it. And then luckily, like Kitty J, she's a big part of the team that I work with, she heard it, and she had just been going through this horrible breakup and blah, blah, blah. And so like when she wrote everything that she wrote to it, and then they wrote everything that they wrote to it, and then we all came together and like did it like as a group, it just came out phenomenal. Like I couldn't have thought it would have went any better than that. And like I think it's got like 10 or 11,000 views on YouTube right now. No money, nobody's putting it out there like crazy, you know, like no label behind it, and that's what really means a lot to me. Like when you make something that's real and people just pick it up and like they share it with their friends and stuff like that, you know, like that's what it's really all about, you know?
Very true. Now tell us a little bit about your tattoos. I see that you have a lot of them. What's the story behind that?
They all have stories. Every one of them means something. I mean, I have to take off my jacket. You got an hour?
You got a couple seconds.
Yeah, good.
I mean, well, on my knuckles, I can't talk. On my knuckles, I got no regrets. Like, if something bad happens today and then you did that, learn from it. You can't change the past. The only thing you can do is change the future. So if you live in regret of something you did do in the past, you just hold yourself back from progression to the future, you know. And then like I got a nautical star that guides your way home. I got that when my daughter was born, and just tons of other stuff too. And they all tell stories. They all mean something very deep to me.
Well, you're kind of like a Renaissance man. You've mastered everything there is to master about music and in the music industry. So So what I want to know, do you have a single focus, or do you juggle all of this?
Oh, I juggle it all. I wear so many hats. Like right now, besides being the producer, Charlie Anderson, working with artists, I have a few artists that I'm working with now. I actually just picked up this band. They're called Witness for Hope, sorry, I apologize. Witness for Hope. They're like a metalcore band, and like I'm so excited about it because that's what I grew up doing, like was metal and stuff like that, and that's what really made me a good artist, if you will. And so yeah, I wear so many hats. It's like juggling this to juggling that, but also like I love the whole DJ producing stuff. Like I love being able to write a track, playing in the club, and you see 200 girls popping their ass to the music that I made. Like that's so cool. Like, you know, so like besides that and throwing events and all that stuff, like yeah, I do everything. Cause you have to be able to do that stuff in this world now. Like we live in such a media, internet controlled world that if you can't be this or you can't do that, like I also act. You know, so if you can't do this and you can't do that, like and do this and do that, then you're just like not even relevant anymore. You know, like you gotta be everywhere.
Well, that's truly amazing, and you are very talented, and I'm very impressed. As a producer, what do you think about our friends here, the Lab Rats?
I actually haven't heard anything. I'd love to. Like, I haven't heard nothing yet. And like, if you guys are from DA, like, let's work, man. Like, this is our home. Like, this is our place. You know, like, if we don't stick together, then none of us are really going to be able to do really big, crazy, big stuff. You know, like, and that's what it's really about. Is like building a fan base at home, and then everybody else notices. You know.
What suggestions do you have for producers that are trying to make it to the next level? Like there are several producers out here that, you know, get down, that work in the studio, working with artists that are probably just stuck at that plateau as to where do we need to go other than saying, okay, I'm about to make that drive to New York with all my music.
That drive to New York, man, that's a scary thought. You know, like I used to live in LA, I lived in Miami, I worked with everybody you could ever even think of and stuff like that. So it's like, the real big thing is trying to think outside the box. Like, what are you gonna do different? Like, yeah, that's cool, you're throwing down all these crazy techniques and stuff like that, but really what impact are you making on the world? You get what I'm saying? Like you could do this, you could do that, but if you're not like really making your own thing, like there's so many guys that like blend in with some of the best producers in the world, like Lex Luger's, like I couldn't tell you how many amazing trap guys that I meet, but it's like, oh, you're making Lex Luger tracks, you know, or like Timbaland guys, or like pop guys, you know, like in the pop world, it's very easy to blend in with because it's all over the place, you know, and everybody kind of sounds the same, you know, so it's like, really, what are you doing that's different? You know, making a noise yourself, you know?
Well, what would you say would be like your biggest regret as far as what you've learned now? What's something that you kind of regret?
Nothing.
Regret that you did?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Because I know you said you had no regrets, but as far as like a mistake that you kind of wish you'd have known earlier in the game, is any of that?
All of those mistakes made me who I am today.
Well, I guess I'm trying to get out like some kind of advice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, give me something. No. Like, I mean, is there anything as far as like what he said? But I'm trying to correlate as far as like.
Don't wear red tie in the office.
I guess.
No, I mean, like at the end of it, like. All right, so everybody I've ever talked to that's been those people that you would consider like just mind-boggling amazing, like from Pharrell to Chad to Dr. Luke to Kevin Rudolph to, and like, if you guys don't know, like Kevin Rudolph is mad relevant in the world of pop. He's done so many records. He just decided that his solo career as that just wasn't really where he wanted to be, you know, he wanted to be in the studio. And like, so like, and you ask any of those guys that same question, like advice, right? They're gonna say, at the end of the day, it's the record. Like, it doesn't matter how here that you love, you never know anything what that person looks like until you see their picture and stuff. It's all about that music. It's that song. And that song will just take you, if you write that right song, it will just take you all over the world. You know?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you have a hot song and you're trying to get across the world to get it out there, you know what I mean? Like, you have your hometown, you know, accepted it, and you're just trying to get to that next level. What would you try to do then?
You know, that's a hard question, man. Because we also live in a world where publicity is everything. You know, like everybody knew 5 minutes later when Justin Bieber got pulled over. You know, who cares about his music? Everybody knew that he got pulled over. You know, so we also live in that world. So it's very hard to juggle and stuff like that. So it's like, shoot, I wish I had the magical answer, man. Like I don't, but I do know that there are people from bumfuck nowhere that like write that song and it gets out to the whole world, man. Like the whole world just feels it. And I think the main rule behind that is that it's got to be real. Like if you write real music, like that really means something to you and touches other people, it's gonna go no matter what. Like it's gonna find its own wings and fly, you know?
Well, thank you. Speaking about music and real experiences and good music, after the break, we're going to be hearing from Greg.
Welcome back to That Local Music Show, and right now we're going to take time out for our topic of the day, and it is the collaborative effort. You, me, and a beat, and a producer, and a songwriter, etc. All right, we're going to open the floor to everybody, and I'll open it up, because I'm a songwriter, so I think that everybody has their own slice of the proverbial song pie. So I think that it should be kind of even out, or at least set from jump, who's going to do what, who's going to get what, if there's going to be any money involved, and the floor is open, and bam. Take it. Somebody who's not me.
So you use Logic, right?
No,
We're live.
Ableton?
No, we're trying Extreme and FL Studio.
Oh, I got you. Cool. Let's go.
So we mix analog and digital.
Yeah.
We just try to combine it with the recorder.
Yeah.
We still use working recorder.
Yeah, I try to mix as much live stuff as possible, just because like once you have that quantized and stuff like that, it starts feeling like a computer.
Yeah.
And like computers don't have heartbeats, so it's a different like feeling, you know. So I get it.
As far as the collaborative effort, I'm gonna say that in the small world, on the small level, I think that that people should know their role. All right, so if we're gonna collab, producer, artist, and then you got or someone that's gonna write the record, the engineer that I think is the only one, the person mixing is the only one that needs to get the bread off the top. I mean, that's the person that you have to pay first.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it really depends on what the budget is.
Right. That's what I'm talking about locally, because a lot of times, you know, when people want to collaborate, you know, there's no budget unless you have somebody that's managing a collaborative effort. Like you may have like a CDOP come in and say, hey, I want to take Shane Dollar, I want to take Lab Rats, and then I want to take Kenny, and I want to do a song. So what do I need to do? I want to pay for the beat, I want to pay for the feature, I want to pay for someone to write the record, and of course I need to pay for it to get mixed or whatever. That's how it should go. That's how I feel. But locally, that's not how it's gonna go. It's not, because people are gonna expect, hey, I want $250 for my beat, or we're not doing that.
I mean, if you charge $250 for your beat, I mean, really, what are you saying about yourself?
I want $250 for my beat.
You know, like if you go into it, like all the records that I do right now, like I could be charging, but I'd rather put out good music. And once you start adding money into it, like that's when it's like, that's when it really starts getting funny and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's the music. It's not about the money. And my favorite term is when people call people sellouts, right? I think the moment that you sell out is that when you charge a ticket to see you live. When you charge people to listen to your music, you're a sellout. It's art. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to change things. It's, you know, like it's supposed to, all that good stuff. And that is free, you know. But so yeah, like when it comes to collaborative for me, like I don't charge for that stuff right now. I mean, maybe one day.
For me, like
depending on how big.
from an inside perspective, from a songwriter perspective, like, okay, like lights aren't going to pay themselves from the studio, perspective like that.
Right.
But from an artist perspective, let's say like we're all going to do a track, right? And I'm going to write it. You're going to do the beat. You're going to do another part of the beat or whatever, and you might have one of your artists come and sing it. You know what I'm saying? So like back from what he was saying, as far as knowing your role. Now, like, there has to be, like, some type of road map. Like, okay, like, after the song is recorded, okay, then what? Split sheet, yeah. You would think that, but...
And then everybody gets up with their own publishing company and, you release it and you make your money in the back end,
People will blame you for what they don't want to work for.
Oh, I know.
They will. You know what I mean? They'll be upset because they don't have their publishing right. Because you're already getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be mad when they find out and they'll be like, well, what do you mean? Why are you mad at me? Because we did our paperwork.
I mean, everybody can buy ASCAP or ZMI.
You know what I mean? It's like information is free. It's like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be free.
Well, let's take it off to our audience members.
Collaborative effort to me is concerned. I guess it depends on how you look at it. We're talking collaborative effort between artist to artist, but what about promoter to promoter? You know what I mean? I feel like the collaborative effort, there has to be a common goal. You know what I mean? Everybody has to be reaching something, and how do you get to that point? If everybody out here is talking about they want to make it, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do the other. Looking outside of the box for a minute from a producer standpoint, yeah. If I'm collabing with a producer, producers put in a lot of time and effort to get to where they get, and they have to eat like the rest of us, but they have a specific process in place, whereas artists, we're always all over the place. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to, there has to be a common goal, you know what I mean? There has to be a common goal as far as what you're trying to reach and what you're trying to do. And, for me as an artist, first and foremost, I want to be seen just like everybody else. But how do I get to that point? If there's 100 other artists out here doing what I'm doing, how do I get my name out there? You know what I mean? So as far as the collaborative effort to me is concerned, it's about trying to work with everybody that I feel like is going to help me get somewhere while I'm helping them get somewhere. You know what I mean? And like Charlie said, I think he brings up the best point, is you got to do what you do. You got to do what you do to stand out. You know what I mean? And how am I going to charge somebody as an artist, right? How am I going to charge somebody as an artist, $300, $250, whatever, to do a collab when that artist is trying to eat? I mean, honestly, if I'm charging an artist, they can't do nothing for me that I can't do for myself. You know what I mean? So like, but this goes back, this goes back to another topic that we talked about before. But as far as the collaborative effort, there's a reason why you're collabing. You're not collabing to fuck each other over, right? You're collabing to move your career forward in a position. So I'm gonna go to the audience real quick. Does anybody have anything to say specifically? Introduce yourself. Pop the camera here.
Hi, I'm Melissa Reynolds Thompson, and I actually met the featured artist Greg Gutty tonight through a promotion by Ramonta Allen with Romo Entertainment, and he happens to be a local artist who's been on the grind for a long time here in this area, and he will share the stage in his live band with other artists. And I just wanted to ask the question, the artists on the panel, do you feel like if you share your stage and your band with someone else, do you feel like you're losing? Or do you feel like in the end, if you're working together, you all win?
Can I answer that? One band, one sound.
Thank you.
Anybody else? As far as, we'll go ahead and wrap this segment up, so coming back. As far as the collaborative effort is concerned, he says it best. One band, one sound. It's all about what you're trying to do as an artist, right? It's all about what you're trying to do as a promoter. We all have one common goal. So rather than put a TV show together, for instance, for one person, you know what I mean? There's 4 or 5 other people on stage, not including who is standing behind the scenes right now that are helping making this happen. And you better believe that the hours that we put into just filming this TV show are not all of the hours that it takes to put this TV show together. It'll take 6, 7, 8 hours of editing time just to get this ready to go on YouTube. You know what I mean? And we're not making any money, right? We're not getting paid to do this right now, but we all know where this is going to go. We all know where we can take this, because individually, everybody on this stage has attained a level of success by themselves just by out here hustling, right? And at some point, we always sit down here and we always talk about, man, we got to come together, we got to come together. But we only managed to come together about this far before we break apart because somebody's getting paid and somebody else isn't. You know what I mean? So as far as the collaborative effort is, because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes down to the topic, it's, if you're going to collaborate on something, collaborate to achieve a common goal, right? And I think we got one more question.
What up with Super?
Oh, I thought you had a question.
Oh, my name Boss Dog. As far as collaborative effort, I mean, some people don't take this music stuff seriously. You know what I'm saying? So I think some people should pay for people's time. You know what I'm saying? If like a solo artist is if a solo artist is on a path and he got a goal, you know what I'm saying, then I think you should pay that man for his time. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking him away from his focus. You feel what I'm saying? So some people just ain't serious about music, and some people are. And that's what I say about, like, some people should pay. You know what I mean? So
I agree to disagree a little bit because, like, if somebody's just coming somewhere to record, that's not necessarily you collab with that person. That's just some random person coming to your studio to record. And that aspect, I agree, because Light's not gonna pay themselves. So of course, you know, you can pay for your time to sit back and record them. But if you're coming in and you're the solo artist and I'm the producer, you're like, hey, I love your beats or whatever, and I want to, you know, do a track with you. That's kind of more on the collaborative side advice. Hey, I want to pay for some studio time. You know what I mean? And like whether they're serious or not, that's kind of your discernment whether you want to collab with them or not. Because you can't collab with just anybody. Because normally, like, you collab with somebody that's either going to make you sound better than how you already sound. You guys kind of complement each other by some whack person that's really not going to do anything for either one of y'all.
Yeah, I was trying to talk about artist to artist, though. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Of course, you're gonna have to pay for studio time. You know what I'm saying? Or producer's time also. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about artist to artist. An artist might like another artist sound, and no, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Get on the record with me. You know what I'm saying? But the same artist might he focus on one thing. You know what I mean? One come and go, but this guy he ain't serious. You know what I'm saying? He just want to play it in the hood for his homeboy. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got you.
So what do you say to people that want to use your name? You know what I mean? They just want to say, hey, you know what, Charlie? I make beats on the weekends, but I think that we should collab. Should I pay you that money to collab because I don't have a name and I don't take it serious, as my man is saying? I mean, because that's real. I mean,
well, first I'd say thank you. That you even think that. You know, and like, I don't know, man, like, I mean, maybe one day I will get to that point where I just, like, I don't have enough time to worry about this, but you throw me 30,000, I might be able to think about it, you know, but right now, like, I'm not even in that mind frame. I'd rather just write good music, man, make good music. At the end of the day, none of that money means nothing. None of that material stuff means nothing. Like, if you write that song, you could be here for the rest of this planet.
Oh, okay.
Like, and that doesn't cost anything, you know, and you shouldn't charge for that. And not to say that I don't want to make money off and make a good living off of it, but like at the end of it, like if I was to stand up and be like, nah, if you want to work with me, I'm going to charge you, and who knows, man, I could be passing up an opportunity of a lifetime, you know, like.
Just because of what you think or passing judgment on somebody?
Yeah, you know. I mean, I definitely, like, don't get it twisted, I have to be interested in what you're doing, you know, like, but if you get me that far.
Or just as when a rapper comes up to, I'm pretty sure you heard it, hey, yo, we're gonna make this work, it's gonna be.
You know, my favorite thing about this whole rapper game is that they're like, yo, kick me beats, and I don't make beats. Like, I don't make beats. I don't just sit in my room and just make beats. I write songs. Like, from start to finish. Like, I could do it, I have done it, but that doesn't really get my stuff going. So, like that's not really, I'm not gonna, like, at the end of it, I'm gonna make a 15-minute beat and just handed it to you and then you do something to it. I could hate it. And then now you're putting out something that I could hate. I don't want to do that. I don't have time for that. You know, so it's like if anybody wanted to collab with me, it'd be a one-on-one. We see it all the way to the finish.
We both agree.
Type thing, you know.
Well, glad we all can see eye to eye on this discussion, but we kind of wrap it up a little bit. So we'll be back with the sounds of Greg Gutty, and you guys are watching That Local Music Show.
That Local Music Show. Coming up next is that VA native, Greg Gutty.
Take her out 'cause I used to see it. Told her I was gonna leave, but she looked at me and she said, "Pay with you, I'ma put you on child support." Oh, baby, child support. Oh, no, oh no, that's why it's cheaper to keep her. Remember when we used to be cool? Me and you together, always acting the fool. Now it's like we're breaking the rules. Now I'm singing the boogeyman blues. Keep on disrespecting me right in front of my daughter, talking all that shit, saying I can't afford her. Now we both feeling like we wishing we never met each other. So when you talk to your friends, you can say what you wanna say about me. I want it better for my daughter. You say you was gonna call the police if I came within 6 feet. 'Cause you got custody, never finding your needs. Seems you never agreed. Took her out 'cause I used to see it. Told her I was gonna leave, and she looked at me and she said, "Pay with you, I'ma put you on child support." Oh, baby, child support. Oh, no. Oh no, that's why it's cheaper to keep her. Now that it's over, don't you come around here. I got a new nigga now and he live around here. You gave my daughter a sister, and I don't care if she know her. And I'ma keep on walking around here with this chip on my shoulder. 'Cause I'm mad at the way you tried to play me when you left me. She said, boy, you ain't gonna lie, you have me standing breathless. I guess this is the only way for me to try to get some baby back, alright. Oh, no, say what you wanna say about me, no. I want it better for my daughter. Say you was gonna call the police if I came within 6 feet, no. 'Cause you got custody and everybody your needs. Seems we never agreed. Took her out 'cause I used to see it. Told her I was gonna leave, and she looked at me and she said, "If I ain't with you, I'ma put you on child support." Oh no, baby, oh baby, oh baby, child support now. I'll tell you why. That's why it's cheaper to keep her now. Say what you wanna say about me. I want it better for my daughter. Say you was gonna call the police if I came within 6 feet, no. 'Cause you got custody, everybody your needs. Seems we never agree. Took her back as I used to street. Told her I was gonna leave, and she looked at me and she said, "Paying with you, I'ma put you on child support." Oh baby, child support. Oh no, oh no. So I shiver, so I shiver, so I shiver to even now. Thank you. My name is Greg Gutty from Boston, Virginia. Happy to be here. Peace and love. Check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all of that under Greg Gutty. Gutty. Peace and love.
Peace.